need to do another sound check? Or?
Put it off.
Oh, off.
Let's see what they say.
Okay, sure.
There is a buzz when it's off.
When it's off.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's not completely off. It's the voltage is still there, you know.
Yeah.
And who knows what's happening there. Okay, he said sounds fine when it's on. I knew it.
Okay. All right. No problem.
And I believe this is environmental sound covers it up as well.
Oh. Okay.
What is this?
Oh, that's the power cord for the laptop. It's for this. It's not for. It's not part of the rest of it.
Trying to see what could that be.
Yeah. What, like interference or something?
For the next, we'll try on the half time.
Yep.
Disconnect everything that
Okay.
we don't use.
Okay.
Like try with that one
Okay.
and then.
Okay. Okay.
You are on, so we can't do it now.
Okay,
You
yeah.
won't. You
Yeah.
need to be off. So on
Okay.
the half.
Half time?
On the half time.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So let's try. Okay.
I still can hear.
Okay.
Press that button.
Oh no, that's from my earphones, I think. But did it do anything?
Do it again.
Because that toggles the earphones. So
Okay.
yeah. So from mono to stereo.
Keep it as it was. This is on and off.
That's the power button. Yep.
Okay. Put this one all down, like
Yep.
down.
Oh, everything. Everything.
Don't use those
Okay, so everything. Yeah, and that just down.
that you don't use.
Yeah. So it's still we're just using line 1.
Yeah, it looks better now.
Okay.
Down now.
Yep. Okay.
That's all we get. So
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
yours. Here, isn't it? Yes. Well, that's right. Sunday, 4:30, St. George's. Oh, shit. Angela Cohen Lucas. Who's the keeper? Cito, O'Shea, Swedish, Casella, second. Yep, I'm ready. Good. Good evening, NPL men's New South Wales fans. A Saturday night right at the business end of the season and a matchup here at Barton Park, which could have consequences come the end of the 90 minutes. At both ends of the table, it's St George FC versus Rockdale Ilinden, and it is Eric Subihano calling from the Frank Arrock stand. And it's going to be a great occasion here in Banksia this evening. Well, for St George FC, as they try to climb out of the bottom two and trying to recover from defeat 7 days ago at the Arctic Circle when they lost 3-1 to Spirit FC. There's a chance in what you might call a derby against Rockdale Ilinden themselves, looking to bounce back from defeat in the last round. So it's the usual kits for St George FC, the home side, of course, with the red jerseys, the white shorts and the green socks, necessitating a change of strip for Rockdale Ilinden in their white away jerseys this evening. So let's go through the two lineups, and I think we shall start with visitors. Rockdale, so in goal is number 1, Levi Kay. Number 2 is Hunter Elliott. Number 3, Lachlan Griffiths. Number 4, Reo Kunimoto. Number 7, Ollie Wigan. Number 8, Jerry Skatardis. Number 9, Mudi Najjar. Number 11, Lachlan Constable. Number 17, James Temolkovsky. Number 22 is Harry McCarthy. And number 26 is the other Harry and the captain of the visitors, Harry van der Sarg. Rockdale are coached by Paul D. Now for the hosts, St George FC, the keeper is number 13, Sebastian Laluz. Then there's number 4, Jaden Cito. Number 6, Patrick O'Shea. Number 7, Justin Poon. Number 8, Evangelos Souris. Number 10, Jaden Casella. Number 11, Lachlan Sepping. Number 12, Toshiki Makimoto. Number 14, Isaac Cunningham. Number 15, Mark Rodic. And number 16 is Caden Wright. So, Rockdale looks like they're going to kick off and attack the goal to the left of our filming position here in the Frank Arrock stand. And yes, I might just go through the two sets of substitutes. I'll try and sneak in the home subs first if I get the chance. So James Husoy, I believe, would be the backup keeper. The others the host may bring on later are Rocco Smith, Nicolas Skartaric, Sebastian Kacic, Harry Keys, Edwin Haddad and Taylor Harrod. Well, for Rockdale, I believe their backup keeper is Ronan Mulgrew, and the other players on the bench for the visitors are Brendan Chalakian, Michael Marchevsky, Lucas De Souza, Evangelos Kalamvokis, Lukas Ribarevsky and Stefan Simonovsky. So, I've had the pre-match formalities, match officials already, and I had a delicious souvlaki roll from the canteen in the pre-game, so I'm definitely ready to call this one. And Rockdale starting out by booting it out near corner flag in what would be St George FC's defensive third, an early chance to try and activate their high press. And an early 50-50 from Van der Sarg. And a second challenge as well. Headed out. And that's going to be a throw-in right by Rockdale's attacking corner flag, so to speak. I think it was Rodic with the defensive header there. No goals in the Friday night game, but certainly hoping that is not the case in the Saturday night game at Barton Park. And of course, plenty of action as in the top division of men's football for New South Wales, because the weather has certainly cooled down. The action certainly heating up in this division as there's a free kick. And of course, if I find time, I might reference the second tier League One men's, because things are certainly heating up in there as well, as teams at the top of League One men's battle for a place in next year's NPL men's competition. You see Football New South Wales photographer Brett Nielsen in position. Brett is positioned to do a great job as always getting snaps of this game, as that's the early ball and the defending this time I believe from Najjar, and an early corner for the hosts. A strong run down to the right hand side from Justin Poon. Looks like a set for an in-swinger as local juniors watch in close attendance for this early corner kick for the host. It's driven low to the edge of the box. Air swing from Casella, who has to chase, and Rockdale chasing this one as well. I think that's Wigan, who's got two players with him charging through the middle. It's a decent ball as the red jersey stream back and takes a deflection, which should take it. Or Laluz lets it bounce and might not get there. He still hasn't held it, and it takes a couple of goes, but eventually Laluz grabs the ball, and we'll have a stoppage just to check on Sebastian Laluz's welfare. So, of course, not that we think that's a head knock, but can't be too careful in these kinds of situations. The physio is on the field, but it looks like Laluz will be fine to continue after a brief moment. And indeed, we'll start with a free kick to St George. Great defensive header from Lachlan Griffiths, I think that was. Now Casella looking to use his body, helps it on. Griffiths is in again, just hooks it away and out, and an early falcon, I think, for one of the substitutes, but yeah. Nothing too untoward. In fact, that young man over the far side doesn't look bothered at all. There you go. Great venue for the plane watchers as well. You can just about see a plane taking off from Kingsman Smith Airport in the distance, and also in the nearer distance, if that makes sense. St. George trying to build down their left side, booted away. And now I think hearing the shouts back past to Laluz, allowing Rockdale to step up. And Rockdale have won it. Van der Sar looking for options, swings it in. That's a decent ball, looking for Najjar. He's kept it in. St. George with some defending to do here. Back into the middle and then caught by Laluz. Eyes up and direct they go. And there's a decent chase here for St. George and Justin Poon. Second attacker there. And back as a source. And then O'Shea switching it left. There's Cito. And Cito gets it back. Across, he's Rodic. Rockdale sense the opportunity to press, but it's good composure from St. George. 6 minutes here at Barton Park. 0 between St. George FC and Rockdale. Wigan stopped by 2 players as Poon getting the flick. And he has to chase his own flick on, but a look over the shoulder, and Kunamoto coolly playing it back to Levi K. McCarthy. Caden Wright pressing really high, forcing McCarthy back. Now Kunamoto, little clip. Najjar. McCarthy. Van der Sar over to Griffiths. Now Elliott passes behind him and he couldn't reel it in. So I like what's happened with both NPLs, the men's and the women's comp in recent times, where kickoffs, man, it wasn't that long ago that it was NPL men's was largely Saturday 7 p.m. and Sunday 3 p.m. kickoffs, with the women's comp being mostly Sunday 3 p.m. kickoffs, but got much more variety in kickoff times these days. Friday night games as well. It really does allow you to fill your day watching this wonderful competition. As Wigan. Now Kunamoto. Dropping a bit shorter is McCarthy, allowed to turn, threading a through ball. Now, here's James Temelkovsky, and he scored, so Rockdale didn't take long. Great setup play from Harry McCarthy, and James Temelkovsky drilling that into the bottom corner. Angle a little bit tight, but not too tight for the number 17. And it's St. George FC 0, Rockdale 1. Kunamoto involved in the build-up as well. He saw McCarthy dropping into space. It's important to have centre-backs who can pass. Kunamoto saw McCarthy was a good option in the centre of the park. And a couple of precise passes. And a precise shot later, of course. And the visitors have an early goal. St. George, the only thing to do is to try and pull one back as it's floated to the back post. Now, attempted cross blocked. I think that's Najjar. Some very stout defending. And one who wins the free kick as well. Lachlan Sepping, not a character that, in my experience, watching him play, whether that be for Bulls FC Academy, Nepean Hills, or now St. George FC. It's having just a little chat, but nothing, I think, not a situation that requires any kind of serious managing from tonight's match officials. Yeah, it's Cito just flicking it back off the head, and Lewis doesn't even need to use the gloves. O'Shea heads it up. Something for Wright to challenge for, and handball called against McCarthy. Jar, the pressure is arriving from, no, sorry, not Cedar, from Poon. And Wigan wins the free kick. And it's good. Wigan has a mind a bit of physical contact as a winger. And he does win a lot of clever free kicks. Temelkovsky looks for options. Now it has opened up for Kunamoto to get into opposition territory. On the flank, here's Najjar. Drills it to the back post, and it swings away. The player make the late run. That was Wigan. 12th minute here. If you've just joined us, thanks for tuning in on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. We really appreciate your support. Currently 1-0 to Rockdale over St George FC, courtesy of a nice finish from James Temelkovsky. The flick doesn't work out. Kunamoto again. That flick does work out from Temelkovsky. Wigan, I think, might have been looking for Elliott to overlap. A bit more conservative passing. Kunamoto getting plenty of touches already for Rockdale. Skatardis. Nice ball. Here's Najjar. One-on-one situation. He hits the grass, and all that is a goal kick. Rockdale again win it in the middle of the field, and attacking set piece coming up. Looks like the dead ball situation will be left to the captain, Van der Sarg. Do Van der Sarg go direct? There's two in the wall. So it's a little clip up towards the back post and swings away and out for a goal kick. So, well, I mentioned the goalless game last night in NPL Men's. The earliest of the kickoffs today, definitely not goalless. RPL Leichhardt winning by 5-3 against the Wanderers at Rudy Hill. Also midway through the second half at the Village Green. Great name for a venue, that, by the way, with UNSW leading Spirit by 2-1. Second half also not too far away from here, just over the bridge at Seymour Shore, with Sutherland beating Olympic by 1-0. And half-time at Macedonia Park with Wollongong leading SD Raiders by 2-1. Thanks to my trusty live score app for giving me this update. Rodic aiming for Poon, and it's Najjar. Good body positioning. Najjar showing his versatility. The top scorer for Rockdale in the league this season with 11 goals. This time appears to be playing at left back, and he's done a fair bit of defending so far, but I'm sure Najjar will join the attack when the opportunity presents itself as Sito goes back. Laluz clears. Van der Sar. Little poke blocked on the edge of the St. George box. And then crunching tackle from Van der Sar. Crunching but fair. In fact, a little bit of a pause in proceedings. We're going to see if Jaden Casella is okay. Good to see the physio isn't needed. Griffiths with the defensive header there. Handball shout not agreed with by the referee. Najjar tried a long-range shot, and I think that's good tracking back from Sepping to get a touch on it. Really took the sting out of the shot. Kunamoto challenging in the air. Can Poon bring it down? There's a chance to swing it left. Is this possibly a chance for the host? Casella. Great block from Elliott. That's sent away, and that, I think that's just going to be left for Laluz. Okay, towards halfway, McCarthy trying to track the ball. He does keep it in play. He's going to chase his own touch there. The smart header by right. Sepping cushions it. Sortis. That's a nice diagonal ball. That's got Elliott backtracking, and more importantly, from a St. George perspective, found Casella for a swinging cross, which is just over the runner at the back post. I believe that was Sito rising high, but not quite high enough on that occasion. A couple of nice touches, and 4 forward in this attack for Rockdale. Through ball looking for Temelkovski. Lunge from Rodic, and the flag's up. The flag is up on the far side. So it wouldn't have counted anyway had the ball got through to Temelkovski. Worked right to Caden Wright. The ball down the line. Poon, one-on-one. Poon to the byline and off Najjar. Najjar stuck to the task well. Corner number 2 for the hosts this evening. In Twinger. Good flat delivery. And still some defending to deal with, and it's going to be a penalty. So a tumble in the box results in a spot kick. And now a big chance for St. George FC to equalise. Who takes the responsibility? Looks like Pat O'Shea has picked up the ball. Now, as Levi K discusses matters, decision isn't going to change. And perhaps a little bit of mind games coming in here as a couple of Rockdale players take the opportunity, at least one of them takes the opportunity to have a quick drink. Maybe some instructions going to Levi K as well. In fact, the take has changed now. So it's going to be Jaden Casella from 12 yards up against Levi K. Here we go. Here's Jaden Casella. And he sends Kate the wrong way. A quick equaliser for the host. A big cheer from the crowd. And it's St. George FC 1, Rockdale 1. Casella kept his nerve. Had to wait a fair bit before the whistle blew to take the spot kick. But he converts. Jaden Casella, that is his 4th goal of the season. Van der Sykes clips it up, and the cushion header. This one might come back to Rockdale, and now Temelkovsky tight angle outside of the football, and it zings past everyone. Constable it was, finding Temelkovsky's run in the first place. As Rockdale immediately on the attack, trying to re-establish their lead with Skatadis. And Skatadis has won the free kick. In the wall. I think I hear Lalu shouting out the instructions. There's the whistle. Flayed in, and some kind of St. George touch to keep it away. 2 Rockdale runners at the near post. Skatadis. And the ball went behind McCarthy. Is there a chance for the home side to break off defending their set piece? That's a nice ball too. Their goal scorer Casella. And a free kick. Infringement committed by, I think, Lachlan Griffiths. And Casella not feeling very happy, so to speak. At least he's sitting up. And there was on the end of that crunching, but I have to say fair challenge from Harry Van der Slyke in the early exchanges. Good to see Casella back to his feet. Very technically gifted player, Casella. It'd be a shame, well, stating the obvious, I'm being captain, obviously, it'd be a shame if any player had to be subbed early due to injury. But yes, we love seeing the technicians out there. And Casella will now get into the middle. As there's the signal, it's clipped in from right, and not enough elevation for a teammate to make a play for it. Now, Wigan scrapping away. Ollie Wiggins committed the foul right in front of the benches. Yeah, there's pause there. Looked like people preparing for St George FC throw with the ref Stephen Lucas clearly pointing for a Rockdale throw. There we go. And decent distance on that. Second ball. I think that's Wigan out there spinning around. That one is a St George throw. Now, there we go. And a yellow card. And so apologies, my eyesight isn't the best. I think that's gone to Van der Sar. Still on the far side of the field. Another St George FC throw right in front of one of the benches. There's that header from Rodish. Does a break for Rockdale. Lifted over the top by Constable, and Temelkovsky is offside. Apologies. It's not Van der Sar with the yellow. It's Ollie Wigan instead, who is the first player into Stephen Lucas's notebook. Yeah. I think that'll... fear that will come up again. My eyes certainly aren't getting any younger, but it can be tricky to see when things are at the far side of the field. Just remember, folks, the camera zooms in, my eyes don't. But it was able to catch it on the stream. Anyway. It's still on the far side of the field. That's a header from O'Shea. And who does it break for? It's up for grabs in the middle of the field. McCarthy is tracking back. The white jerseys need to be quick. And Najjar eventually hooks it into St George territory. Right. Does he shepherd it out? Yes, he does. Quick throw. And Sepping away. Griffiths reads it. Finds Skatadis. Still Skatadis works it back. Najjar. Now Kunamoto, and that is going to be a straightforward one for La Luz. And that's, well, that's not what the host needed. McCarthy leaving the throw-in for Najjar. Not much room, but McCarthy finds some room. Can run it right. The second and third defenders come in, and McCarthy, that's smart work, winning the free kick. Not sure, I don't think you can quite see it on stream, but lots of local juniors in attendance, including for a competition called the Messina Cup, thanks to the legendary Gelato Company sponsorship of St. George FC. St. George FC hosting matches for the local minis players. Were games before this game started. There'll also be Messina Cup games at half-time. So it's good to see that local engagement. And something, honestly, we'd love to see more of it with all NPL clubs. As Skatata swings it in, great pace on it, and there's a goal to put Rockdale back in front. How about the ball from Jerry Skatadis? Completely undefendable. And Rockdale back in front. Yes. And go and via the ground announcing. They hesitate, yeah. Mudi Najjar at his goal number 12. And gotta say, while you got a bit of time, will be worth your while clicking back on the stream and watching that cross from Skatadis again. As I said, undefendable. Najjar escaped the defence, and it's a close range header. So there you go. Rockdale back in front. Temelkovsky laying it off now, trying to be the runner for the through ball, then trying to set it up himself, but too much weight on that. Lewis, little jump to claim the ball. Just have to say, great pace to this game. As it goes down the line. McCarthy, Temelkovsky got a runner, tries a Rabona pass. Will the spin favour Najjar? It does. He's one-on-one with Wright, gets past Wright, and crosses anyway, and that's going back for a foul committed by Caden Wright. So another set-piece opportunity for Rockdale not long after they scored. Actually, I'm just going to watch that. How about that Rabona pass from Temelkovsky? That's exceptional. He scored a goal. And you say at least Temelkovsky clearly doesn't mind playing in his teammates as well. So Najjar, so the two people combined for that second Rockdale goal, now discussing what to do with this latest dead ball situation. Again, two in the wall. Skatadis much closer to goal than the last dead ball. Almost too close, but he's going to try and get it up and down somehow. It's flat and takes some kind of touch to the edge of the box. There's Constable, that's his cleanest contact. And as it's blocked, it might work for Isaac Cunningham here. And Cunningham aims it left, takes a tumble, but the ball will go on. And there's red jersey streaming into the middle. Here's Sepping. Sepping is brought down. Now St. George have an attacking set piece. This is great stuff here at Barton Park. Can't take your eyes off this one. Now, I think that's 3 in the Rockdale wall. Casella, one of those over the dead ball. You got the taller defenders up from the back as well. Everyone back for Rockdale though. Casella, pace on the delivery, and still, well, what's the decision? Corner. Sorry. Casella trying to sneak one in at the near post. Levi K smart to that particular play. And it is scramble behind for St George FC corner number 3. There's the signal aimed at the near post, and an immediate infringement by St George FC. The chance is gone. Najar, right on the Frank Arrock stand side of this lovely ground, sends one that is out of reach for the team. His teammates. Now Wigan, has he won it high? Yes, he has. Looking for teammates. Van der Sar takes a tumble, and now it's Rockdale's turn to win a free kick. St George FC move everyone behind the ball. So Temokovsky's pretty good in the air. Griffiths and Kunamoto, they've made their way to the back stick. I think that's Najar who will deliver. It's up towards Griffiths, but not reaching him. Then the shot, decent contact, might end up being a pass, but Kunamoto's offside. So more goals flying in. UNSW have scored again. So 3-1 to them over Spirit in the closing stages. And Olympic have equalised at Seymour Shaw, 1-1 between them and Sutherland, and SD Raiders, despite being a player down, have equalised against Wollongong, 2-2 there down at Macedonia Park. Up, and Griffiths got a foot in there, but still with St George. They bring in Wright to the play. Poon now to Sepping. Sepping trying to switch the point of attack. There's Sito now outside of the football by Souris, and it takes the bounce away from Cunningham. That's one. O'Shea looking to further teammate. That teammate is Sito, who's under a lot of pressure from Wigan. By the way, Sito and Wigan, that's been a fascinating battle, and that'll be right, if nothing changes, that'll be right in front of us in the second half. That, well, I think Temokovsky knew it was offside, and it's a more relaxed task for O'Shea. Passes to his central defensive partner, Rodic. Now Wright, McCarthy's interested in pressing. Let's roll over from Wright. McCarthy will try again. Here's Poon. And Poon past a couple of white jerseys. Can he find the ball? And he's overplayed that one, but to be fair, I think well-timed step up of the Rockdale defensive line kind of restricted the space that St George had to work with as Kay plays it out. Now Kunamoto to Skatadis. He's dropped a little bit deeper. That's allowed Najar to get higher down the left, Rockdale's left-hand side. And McCarthy, will he see him or will he see someone else? But he's seen 3 plays that he's gone past, and then that's even I, with my failing vision, could see that foul. And also a yellow card going to Justin Poon, and think, well, as he has Stephen Lucas has a bit of a chat, but also, yeah, often it's a bit less likely to get the quick free kick off when a yellow card's been shown, because there's a little tiny bit of paperwork to be done, but we're back underway. And intercepting that is Sepping. Casella helps it on. There's Cito. It's up, and they can't find Cunningham, but Griffiths, bit of a loose touch. Pouncing on that, I think that's Makamoto. Now to Poon, but good tackle. Good strong tackle from Najar, one of tonight's goal scorers. That's another nice tackle from Wright. And then that's it. Well, it's hit the ref, and the ref, well, he caught it, but that's the new-ish ruling. It's not that new, but the ref is not part of the field of play, as used to be the case. And then, well, St. George FC can't take advantage of that. The restart after it hit Stephen Lucas. Half-time approaching. Enjoying the opportunity to call this game. Eric Subihano with the commentary here from the Frank Arrock stand at Barton Park. That's St. George FC 1, Rockdale 2. St. George a goal. St. George's goal, a penalty from Jaden Casella. Rockdale's goals scored by James Temelkovsky and Moody Najar. As one of those players, Temelkovsky wins a free kick. Caden Wright with the header. Now, Constable, and as McCarthy plays an interesting ball, it's dealt with by O'Shea, who finds safety. The ball landing somewhere near. Spectators in attendance as short throw, bounce back to Najar. There's Van der Sar, McCarthy, can he thread the ball through? Here's Najar in the box, and such a difficult ball to deal with, and it's zipped in low at pace with defenders tracking back. Constable looking to keep it alive. It's made the infringement then. That's a good intercept there. I think that's Hunter Elliott joining the attack. Can't quite link up with Wigan. That was broken up by Cito. And then that's going to be a Rockdale free kick. I think that's Najar's moved over to the far side. Rockdale looking for a left-footed in-swinger. As everyone waits. Now, in-swinger, and the flick header is in, and it's another Rockdale goal. Set piece is doing the damage once again. They're 3-1 up with halftime nearly upon us. Najar, he scored off a set piece. Now he set one up with the dead ball. What a fantastic cross. Rockdale looking good here as we approach half-time. And it's Ollie Wigan. As I watch on the stream, Ollie Wigan, not the tallest player, but certainly not afraid of a physical contest. As I noted earlier, found space in the box. Clever header, flicking that into the net. Well, Lewis had no chance. It is St. George FC 1, Rockdale 3. So, as Wigan look to play that through ball, that'll be left full of Lewis. I do like to do this once per half, and I just reminded I don't have to do the votes in this when I call a game in this competition. But NPL Men's New South Wales Team of the Week, that'll be released probably on Monday afternoon. Comprised of 3-2-1 votes from Football New South Wales Media. We've got one person in each game. If you don't like who gets into the Team of the Week from this game, send your complaints somewhere else, because I didn't do the 3-2-1 votes. But I'm sure whoever gets in will be well deserving. And you can view that at our social media channels on our Instagram at NPL_NSW_official. And there's also the NPL New South Wales Facebook page. Now, Lalu's under a little bit of pressure, but he's side-foots it away reasonably comfortably. Decent flick, and now Rockdale, don't think they're going to get the offside call they were looking for as players kind of head into the middle. There's a lot of red jerseys up here. Will there be a cross to meet any of those players? Griffiths is the one on hand. Now, there's some space if Rockdale can find it. Wigan charging through. Look, what a strong run this is. He's got two options in front of him. McCarthy stayed on side, and now the decision is that it's a clean tackle, and to be fair, the lack of complaints from Harry McCarthy and tell the tale. And he goes Rodic with an excellent sliding tackle. And his team needed that, already 3-1 down with Harry McCarthy inside the box. Had to get that spot on, and Rodic certainly did. As Casella has got a tough task trying to beat both defenders to that, both Rockdale Central defenders to that through ball, but Griffiths decided to take no risks and send that close to, if not into, the car park here. O'Shea. Now Cito. We're into stoppage time already. Apologies, I missed the fourth officials board. Let's just say I'm not used to calling games that have a fourth official. Yeah, that's the reason. But it's anyway with Levi K, and he'll wait till Casella's in close proximity before he uses the gloves. But there's been a few stoppages, but not that many. There's a glance at the watch from Stephen Lucas, so I think I know what's going to happen in a few seconds. But Levi K just slowly stepping forward. Then he finds Kunamoto. I suppose we'll go on for a bit more. Again, nice pocket of space found by McCarthy, but then there's a teammate caught on their heels. Now, good footwork from Poon to the left, and then Elliott. So now there's 5 forward. It's 5-on-5 if Rockdale are quick enough. Elliott and the wide player. Wigan back to Elliott, up to the back post, and Najjar was about to swing. It's headed away, I think, by right, and throw-in. Did not go out for a corner. In fact, they're not going to have the throw-in. It's halftime here at Barton Park. It's a case of so far, so good for Rockdale Ilinden. They will take a 3-1 lead into the dressing sheds, courtesy of goals from James Temelkovsky, Moody Najjar, and Ollie Wigan. While St George FC, their sole goal so far in tonight's proceedings was a Jaden Casella spot kick. It's Eric Subihana with the commentary from the Frank Arrock stand. We'll take a short break, about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back for the second half. See you soon.
Every week, hundreds of thousands of people turn up around football grounds around New South Wales. Parents, kids, refs, coaches and volunteers. Cardiac incidents can happen to anyone at any time on the pitch.
Right now, not every club has a defibrillator.
And the ones that do are not always maintained or ready to use. In a critical moment, with a defib, that could save lives. That's why Football New South Wales, St John Ambulance and Toyota have come together for Every Beat Matters to help clubs around New South Wales to access defibrillators, cover maintenance and build a register so we know exactly where every unit is around the state. All you need to do is buy a ticket through Raffletix. $5 can make a difference. Every ticket goes towards funding defibrillators and maintenance for clubs that need it most. A live fundraising board shows exactly how much is being raised. And every ticket you buy puts you in the draw to win a Toyota Corolla. One ticket, real impact. Help your club be ready when it matters. So buy your ticket today.
Shifting inside. Bugaria spins. Kukuchka. Shifting one way and the other. Kukuchka! Duarte able to link up with Cornish. And now Lockie Scott has stolen a march on Ziggy Gordon here. Lockie Scott bursting into the area and finishing with aplomb. Cheaply giving the ball away there as a Kiwian and giving the Wolves with a golden opportunity here for Cornish. 1 and 2 as well, if you don't mind. Still going here. Kukuchka pulled into the area. Strike. Goal! As support wide in the form of Nizam. Instead it goes centrally for Daniel Wong. Is this the moment? What a save again from Kunail. He's got some more work to do as it rattles the woodwork. Nodded forward. Wong! That is the moment.
Byron can stop him. Here comes Nicholas Olsen to leg it 1-0 and does just. He's very fortunate. That's a good ball. There's plenty of people there. Chance. Oh, and it can't be tapped in by Manly. It's still in the box, waiting for a shot, and it does find it in. And it's Darcy Burgess. Great ball. If Kimura can take it. Oh, what a touch. Kimura all the way through. Could it be two? It is. Oh, what a winner.
Major or Figuera. And Major sends him the wrong way. Stares him down. Major. Ball just gets away from him. Forced back. Nice turn from Jackson Brown. And how about that from Caleb Jackson Brown? Cross in again. Nikolovsky first tour, but the ball on the edge of the area. Forced to Marcic. First touch. Goal! Michal Marcic comes on and with his first touch. Tanaka crosses in toward O'Brien and he makes it 3.
Kuda looking for Farinella. He's led Adianzio to the ball. Stewart coming through on the outside. Stewart on the tight angle. What an excellent finish. Sydney FC have got a double change in the wings. Junior Conde and Corey Cronin. Here's a pass from Caspers. It's an incisive ball. It's been missed by Zavadinos, and a gift has been presented. Apia's score. And that pass to Pizzuti is promising. Is this Sydney's moment? Pizzuti cuts it back, and stepping in was Conroy. Pizzuti with a drive. It's going to be volleyed in. Sydney are back in business. And it's Josh Brezet.
Touches an opposition half for Spirit up and high. And here's Keeley. And Keeley with the shot. And that's a terrific finish from Callum Keeley up into the top corner. Lovely pass. Skatarich looking for the ball back. Skatarich. Well, Skatarich. The ball is deflected away. And a most unlikely goal as the ball is being cleared. Nicholas Skatarich putting pressure on Jake. You can absolutely see your breath now, as can the players. And now here is Mustafoy. He's inside the box. Takes one touch. Mustafoy looks up, looking to find Keeley. And it's driven into the back post there. Petranos didn't quite catch it, but Kobayashi did. Can he release Kobayashi? He can't. He gets a touch here. And now Kobayashi's getting on the ball. Mustafoy is driving forward. He's onside. He's just got the goalkeeper to beat. Mustafoy is there. A terrific save. No, it's got through. What a finish to this game. Oh, there's a punch from Janjetovic.
It was on a lead, Nathan Roberts. Nathan Roberts trying to get possession. Ball played back to Malfarra. Malfarra has a crack. Malfarra does it once again. Changes for both sides, as we've mentioned. And now Quilligan works a ball towards the far post. There's a touch. Goes over the top of Kenny. Then the header. It's in. Pufflet. Fantastic.
And De Oliveira, and De Oliveira will make way now. De Oliveira put far too much on the last one. Wada goes direct. Superb. A sweet strike from Tomoki Wada.
Here he is with the corner. It's a good ball in. Sinot has to punch. It's back out with Franco Meyer. And how about that? Bernie on that underlapping run gets into the area and lays it off for Jesic. And Marconi go bang bang. Down easy for Sekenis. He's looking to try and add something. Damien Sekenis gets Sunday Yona into the attack. Yona tries to go between defenders. Still has it, Sunday Yona. Sekenis with the header.
Let's just go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Welcome back to our coverage of NPL Men's New South Wales from Barton Park. Eric Subihana here with the commentary. I looked up just in time to see a halftime sub from the home side. And it looks like number 11, Lachlan Sepping, has been replaced by number 24, Edwin Haddad, as there's the whistle. Away we go for the second half here. Rockdale leading by 3-1. Great first half performance in an opening 45 minutes. I did enjoy calling. Lots of pace to the game and lots of intent out there from both teams. So, St. George looking to climb the table, and certainly a mountain in front of them for this second half. And they have had their moments. I liked some of the touches I've seen. I liked a lot of what I've seen from Casella, Makamoto, and Poon so far. As here's Sito, he'll wind up from range, and then Sito, low ball into the box. Not sure I think it might have been a shot, but it has been sliced behind for a corner. Corner number 4 for St. George FC in this game. And while just quickly, actually no, we'll wait for this corner first before we go around the grounds. And it's low to the edge of the box, little flick on, and the side-footed effort is headed away. Another Rockdale defensive header, and also there's been an infringement, and chance is gone. And we do go full time at the Village Green with UNSW beating Spirit by 3-1. 1-1 draw. Not too far away from here. Sutherland drawing 1-1 against Olympic, and late in the day at Macedonia Park, SD Raiders down to 10 players, but a goal up, beating Wollongong by 3-2. And good recent times for SD Raiders into the Australia Cup round of 16 for the first time as well. So a lot of happiness recently for James Letter and the gang here. There we go. I did a shout out to a letter, and and it wasn't the one I usually shout out all the time. Now, Rockdale getting into the left side of the box. McCarthy with some quick touches, but not enough room for him to try and find a teammate. And St. George's looking to break, but Rockdale snuffed that out fairly quickly. And there's Van der Sarg out to the left-hand side. Najjar. And now Skatardis from range. Doesn't even get inside the box. Skatardis with another try this time. He plays it to Najjar. Double marked. Finds McCarthy. Quick turn. And Van der Sarg will keep it in. Now Najjar. And the pass that is sent into the trees that are behind those two technical areas. As I've talked about all the games that have been completed or are in progress. A couple of games tomorrow in NPL Men's New South Wales round 24, both at 3 p.m. The Blacktown City hosting St. George. Blacktown City hosting St. George City. Almost butchered the reading of that one out. I got there in the end, but anyway, Blacktown versus St. George City, 3 p.m. tomorrow, called by, well, we call him the voice of Central Coast football. He can be the voice of Blacktown football for tomorrow at least. That's Pete Pryor. And also at 3 p.m. tomorrow, Marconi hosting the boys from Adensa Park. And let's hope it is a game played in good spirits. We certainly don't want any malice at the Palace. As here's McCarthy. And Skatardis helped on. And Rockdale possession play. But now taking over, that's Kunamoto. Now, Constable can shake off the defender. Cross halfway, there's Cunningham. Tracked very closely by Elliott, but Cunningham trying to get past him. Good second effort from Elliott. And now Constable. Constable again. Now Skotadis. And Kunamoto trying to play the killer pass, and it'll roll through to Laluz. Of course, I talked about games that have been other stream games this weekend. Of course, I must shout out the last night's League One men's match at the round. That was, well, as the commentator said, we call it Spartan Park, but I suppose you got to call it had to call it Blacktown Football Park last night. Its official name, and the final score: Prospect 1, MacArthur 2. Prospect hosting MacArthur at a ground normally associated with the Spartans, as there's a bouncing ball in the Frank Arrock stand. Thankfully, it hasn't hit anyone. But yes, the People's Champion Nicholas Kutniak doing a great job with the commentary last night from Rudy Hill, as he always does. And I'm not just saying that because he gave me some of the equipment that I'm using today. I mean, that is a reason, but that's not the main reason. He's a very good commentator. He is Nicholas. And also, actually, might be a chance to go around the grounds in League One men's, the competition I used to be the reporter for. But if I can remember how to work the live score up, give me a moment. Meanwhile, it's Elliott. Good hurl down the line. It's sent away by O'Shea. Not a neat touch from Skotadis. Elliott, and it deflects this one over the Frank Arrock stand, and it might end up in the car park for that one. And yes, full-time scores from the second tier. Canterbury, Bankstown 1, Spartans 2. And I say, looking more and more like we will be welcoming the Spartans back to the top flight next year. And also a victory for the men of the Hills. Hills United defeating Hakoah by 2-1. As that stood up, and there's a header from Sito. Oh, I would love it if the Hills United women's first grade team won tomorrow. Oh, I'd absolutely love that. Anyway, here's Cunningham keeping it away, but Rockdale win it back in a decent position. Nice 1-2. Wigan keeps that in. Wigan crosses, took a touch off a defender, but only really half cleared as far as Elliott, and Elliott bundled over. That's going to be a set piece. But yes, another, what else? In the, what do you call this? The Battle of the Lions. Interlions 0, Rydermere Lions 4. Late in the day at Poppendetta Park, it's Rangers 2, Newcastle Jets 2, and late in the first half at Adensa Park, I think that's where this game is played, Bulls FC Academy 0, Bankstown City 1. Now one in the wall set by Laluz. And Najjar, who has set up a goal already with his deadly set-piece delivery. There's another D. Oh, there, good old commentator's curse. Sorry, Moody, I'm good for one of those a game. As that swings away from his teammates and straight to Laluz. And short is Makamoto. Now looking for Cunningham. Good sliding tackle from Elliott, but then little flick and they find Cunningham anyway. Now he crosses, and it will be allowed to bounce inside the box. At the back, I think that's Justin Poon. Now decent shot and good save. Kay Strong at the near post to deny Edmund Haddad on as a halftime sub for Lachlan Sepping. Down the line, I think. Pretty sure that stayed in. Now, Wigan. And Wiggins wins the free kick. Going back to go forward, Kay getting a touch, and now Kunamoto. And it's back. Here's Lachlan Griffiths in the centre circle. And St George very deep in this phase of play. Everyone well inside their own half. Rockdale Looking to find some gaps. Zipping it around nicely. And the dummy, and there are runners here. It's a penalty. It's going to be another penalty. This time it goes to Rockdale. And a chance for the visitors to make it 4. Great passing here. And there we go. It was McCarthy who was brought down. It's Rodic, I believe, who's gone into the notebook. And it's going to be the visiting captain, Harry van der Saag. And a hush falls over the ground. Van der Saag up against La Luz. La Luz getting some encouragement from the Frank Arok stand. Here we go. And Van der Saag has missed everything. So La Luz dived the right way. In the end, not needed to use the gloves. The score stays at 3-1. Now, Cito on the counter. And now, big fall, and St. George FC free kick. There we go. From one end to the other. And Casella feeling very sore as the yellow card is shown. And apologies as that. Yeah, late contact. Kunamoto into the notebook there. So Haddad or Casella, it looks to be to deliver the set piece. A couple of left footers here, in fact. There's also going to be a couple of subs. I see a number 12 and a number 7 trotting off the field. So the end of the shift for Justin Poon and Toshiki Makamoto. Nikola Skataric, number 9, is one of the players to join the fray. I'll have to figure out the other player on the fly. But first, it's been left to Haddad. Aimed at the back stick and off a Rockdale head. Retrieved, I think, by Skataric. Skataric forced backwards and another free kick. Okay, well, I think I can see a number 2 on the field for St. George FC. That'd be Rocco Smith. So Rocco Smith and Nikola Skataric, the players who came on in that recent double sub for St. George. Now in swinger and almost a St. George head. Rockdale, a couple of touches and they work it over the sideline. Cunningham found some space. Up in and Skataric and almost had a dream entrance to the game, heading it over, but that's some promising stuff for the hosts as we approach the hour mark. Great creativity and skill on the far side from Cunningham. Floated a ball in right onto Skataric's forehead, and it has gone over. Kay taking no risk with any kind of playing out from back. He's waved everyone towards midfield. That allowed to bounce. Now settles for Cunningham, or it was one for Smith to chase, but Griffiths was in the way, and Levi K telling his defenders to keep the standards up. They're in the strong position as we enter the final half hour. There's still plenty of work to be done. Now that's a chance for Rockdale to relieve some pressure. Now, as Levi K again takes this set piece, that'll push basically everyone else into St. George territory. Deep into St. George territory. In fact, the ball goes, and second ball picked up by Rockdale is Constable. As Van der Sar again might stay in. Can Rockdale keep it alive? They do. It could be a chance. And surely now it's side-footed in by Jerry Skatadis. And it's 4-1 to Rockdale. And just wanted it more. And there you go. Lesson to the kids. Even if it feels like a lost cause, just chase it anyway. You never know what might happen. It's Jerry Skatadis who is the beneficiary at the end. It was a great hustle from, I think, James Temelkovsky. And a little fake to leave the keeper on the ground. Unselfish when he could have shot himself. Knew that Skatadis was in the better position. And Rockdale lead by 4-1 over St. George FC. Now, substitution here. So Ollie Wigan, one of tonight's goal scorers, has made way. Good shift from Wigan. The kind of player that I like to call a League One men's alumnus. Ollie Wigan spent a long time in the second tier with Northern Tigers before he's getting his NPL chance. Previously with Spirit, but now getting the job done for Rockdale. He's been replaced by number 10 for Rockdale, who's Brendan Chalakian. Now, will this hold up for Casella? And it does not quite. Now, I'll just try and drip feed before we're done here. Of course, a reminder of the games in NPL Men's. And you can watch next weekend the same way you're watching this one on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. So the action will continue on Friday the 24th of July at 7:30 p.m. Kickoff, that would be Manly hosting Olympic. There's 5 NPL Men's games on Saturday the 25th of July. Action starts at 5 p.m. with a local derby, SD Raiders hosting Marconi Stallions. Then on Saturday 25th at 5:30 p.m. from the Arctic Circle, it's Spirit FC hosting Western Sydney Wanderers. And then at 6 p.m. on the 25th, Apia hosting UNSW at Lambert Park. You can get some great coffees and a chicken and chili mayo roll that is underappreciated by the general public, but it is fantastic fare at the canteen at Lambert Park. And Saturday 25th, 6:30 p.m. here, St. George FC hosts Sydney FC. And then Saturday 25th, 7:15 p.m., St. George City hosts the boys from Adenza Park at their home in Penshurst. And a couple of NPL men's games on Sunday the 26th of July, both at 3 p.m, with Rockdale hosting Sutherland and Wollongong Wolves hosting Blacktown City. Decent flight on that. It's flicked away from Smith, who was attacking the ball, and after all that, it's just there hanging tantalizingly in the 6-yard box, waiting for some kind of St. George touch. Instead, it's Levi K who grabs onto the football. By the way, next weekend, how about this? The League One men's match of the round next weekend, Saturday, 25th of July, 5 p.m. It's a derby that could have promotion implications as well. Bankstown City hosting Canterbury Bankstown. these two teams, well, I'm not sure what the live table says, but when I looked before this game started, Bankstown City in 5th, Canterbury Bankstown in 4th, and I'm told that Cody Ojeda will have the commentary for you there from Jensen Park. Great set of 9 men's football games as Casella has the shot blocked. And then the foul contact again on Skotadis, I think. So St. George set piece coming up. By the way, as I meant to go around the grounds, my good friend Annabelle Banfield is calling a women's game at North Taramara. Might just check in on that while we wait for this set piece. Might as well mention all the other games being played today that you can watch on our YouTube channel. Okay, so first we'll have this set piece, and it is Cunningham into the wall. Right, into Chalakin, I think it was. But, you know, if a shot hits you, you're well positioned. That's what I say. Now, Cunningham has it taken away from him by Chalakin, but won back very quickly. Now, the back is past. The chance for Rockdale to step up, and that floats away from Casella. Meanwhile, at North Taramara, I sure hope Annabelle Banfield is dressed warmly. That just looks cold, that game, but currently Northern Tigers leading the Rangers 1-0 in the NPL Women's, although apparently the graphics saying the Rangers had... Oh, sorry, Northern Tigers had a red card in the first half. Anyway. Couple of headers. Temelkovsky brings it down, and now that's a lovely pass. I think McCarthy's the one that's going to get on the end of that supporting run already. It's moved backwards. Now Skotadis. And now that flag's up. The flag is up. That's not going to count. None of this will count. So, and the St. George FC move everyone up. I mentioned one women's game being NPL women's game being played this weekend. Might as well mention the others, but basically I'm doing this as a rather convoluted device to promote the game I'm calling tomorrow, but might as well mention the rest of them. So firstly, this is a good header from Van der Saag. It breaks. Not quite for anyone as of yet. As it bobbles about, Skotadis left it behind him. Caden Wright. Now right, and then Najjar has given away the throw. But yes, 6 NPL women's games that you can watch tomorrow on our YouTube channel. We'll hold that thought as he's Skataric. And can't find Casella. Cito. Now Casella. St. George FC, they're still going to give this a go. Shot is blocked. Casella keeps it alive. Haddad. Now Wright has moved infield. And then a return ball under hit. And now Rockdale is 4 forward in this attack. Foul. Okay. Now, quickly taken free kick. Rockdale want to get on with it. Want to try and score a 5th. And strength there. That's great technique. He shoots, and it's straight at Laluz. Good effort. I think that was Temelkovsky. Casella looks up. What are his options? Haddad. Soris. Diagonals right on the money for Skataric. Skataric. Up against 2, and it needs a 3rd defender. That's great trickery from the substitute there. No, that didn't go very far. Haddad reels it in, and then is it forward Chalakian? Doesn't get whatever decision he wanted there. We'll go on with the ball on the far side of the field. Up and away, I think, from Kunamoto. Now, again, it's a necessary intervention to prevent Cunningham getting the ball, and then Elliott with good skill to spin and keep it away from Cunningham. Now this chance for Rockdale to relax a little bit, but a step up as well.
Keep going, Eddie. Come on, Kay.
Is someone listening to this without headphones? I think I just heard my voice. Anyway. Great ball from right. Skataric. First time ball, it's left, but it was left by Casella, but teammate wasn't quite where he thought it was. Rockdale take the chance to clear. Now, I think I saw a 17 and a 27, but both teams actually taking the chance to make subs. So it looks like the 17 for 27 sub, that's Rockdale. Oh, well. This might take me a while to figure out. Oh, both teams making subs on the far side of the field. Anyway, 21 for 8, that's the St. George sub. So Evangelosaurus off, Harry Keys on. Harry Keys brought on for the final 20 minutes or so as St. George continue to try and unlock the Rockdale defence. And I think I saw a 27 and 28 on the fourth officials board, so that'd be Lucas Riborevsky and Stefan Simonoski coming on if, and that's a big if I saw that correctly. Constable and a jar, and Keys blocking the path, and it's, well, it's, okay, oh, well, I definitely see a Rockdale 27. By the way, 27, my favourite number, but yes, Lucas Riborevsky definitely on the field. But for who? Anyway, that's Riborevsky near the corner flag. And yeah, there's the 28. Simonoski's on the field as well for Rockdale. Now I'm sure. Oh, great length on the throw-in. Headed away, and Chalakin was trying to attack the drop of the ball. Cunningham. That'll go straight to Levi K. Going to have to try and figure out who the Rockdale players were who left the field by process of elimination. Oh, this is going to take me forever. I'm sorry, everyone. Rockdale trying to invite a high press, but then they decide to go along Najjar. Now at centre forward. Okay, I'm going to say James Temwalkowski is one of the players to make way. Can't see him on the field anymore. Now, bit of a loose touch there, and Najjar's pressing. Who does it fall for? Just spins into La Luz's gloves. And that looks like Harry McCarthy is the other player to make way for Rockdale. Did that feel like it took forever for me to figure out? Because that took a while. Anyway, just to clarify that double sub, which feels like it happened about 70 minutes ago, but yes. It's Lucas Riborevsky and Stefan Simonoski on for James Temwalkowski and Harry McCarthy. And as we tick over into the 75th minute, Rockdale looking pretty comfortable, leading by 4-1 over St. George FC. As that, well, a brief moment looked like it might break for Rocco Smith, but instead it's Levi K who claims the ball. Smith gets the jump on the defence. Needs some support. Gets it from Haddad. Backwards to Sito. Now Cunningham. Haddad. Little shimmy. Now attacking the box. This is good from Haddad, and then he does get the cross in. Who's attacking it? And Skataric. Trying to find a teammate, couldn't link up with Keys. Riborevsky. And that is deflected, and we can take a little bit of a breather. As I continue to be either a good company man or a cynical commentator who's only interested in self-promotion, depending on how you want to view things. Those 6 NPL women's games we're streaming tomorrow on our YouTube channel. You know what? Let's drop the pretense. I'll start with the game I'm calling tomorrow, because that's the most important game to me. And hang on, was onside. Good tackle from O'Shea. That's cleared away. And yes, anyway, in case anyone cares, tomorrow I'll be at the Crest for NPL women's action. 5:40 p.m. kickoff between Sydney Olympic and RPL Leichhardt. That's it. He waited to play advantage, but it's gone back, and that's another yellow card. And I think that's the substitute Riborevsky who has committed the infringement. Now, almost everyone just inside. Almost every St George player inside their own. Probably most every Rockdale player inside their own box to defend. As it's swung in towards Sito, and Sito commits the foul. I suppose I'll give some of the women's callers a shout out for what they're doing tomorrow. Well, some of them, but yeah. Women's action 3 p.m. tomorrow. The NPL Women's New South Wales Classico, MacArthur Rams versus Sydney University. Also at 3 p.m. tomorrow, Illawarra Stingrays versus Spirit at Lakelands Oval. At the curiously quirky time of 3:10 p.m. from the Arctic Circle tomorrow, it's Ravens versus UNSW, called by Dublin Dave Feeney. And 5 p.m. tomorrow in the women's comp, the women's match of the round, Western Sydney Wanderers versus Bulls FC Academy, called by Teo Pellizzeri. 5:30 p.m. in the women's comp tomorrow at Valentine Sports Park. Hills United host Manly United. Will Manly United lose at Valentine Sports Park for the second time in 4 days? Suppose we'll find out tomorrow evening. And that's it. And then as Lachlan Griffiths makes way to be replaced by Michael Marchevsky. And I believe that is the final substitution window that Paul D can use. But, yes. Yes. Okay, so actually there was another sub as well, so glad for that eagle-eyed ground announcing. And yes, so Paul D using all 5 subs allotted to him, as there's a little bit of sorting out, and another yellow card's been shown. But yes, Lucas de Souza on for the final 12 minutes plus whatever stoppages are added, and replacing Lachlan Constable. And I say, I liked the game Lachlan Constable played today. Lots of neat touches in midfield, really policing the centre of the park well, and a big part of the reason Rockdale leading by 4-1. And I remember, this is way back in the memory banks, I remember Lachlan Constable doing similar type of midfield work when he was at Wanderers Academy. I suppose the closest 2026 equivalent as that shot is gone wide. I suppose the closest 2026 equivalent to what for Wanderers Academy to what Lachlan Constable would do. I suppose Julian Kopp does the same kind of stuff in the Wanderers Academy midfield these days. And De Souza, well, I suppose that won't count as his first touch because the ball went out first. Big fling there from Cito, and then the second ball picked up by Wright. That's an interesting ball, but Kay, good starting position. Kay almost, despite the slight chance that you would get lobbed if you are a bit off your line, it's always better, my experience, for keepers to be a bit advanced where they stand, just so they can sweep up through balls like that. So that's what made that claim, most recent claim from Kay, relatively comfortable, as opposed to if he had his heels on his line. Not that I'm a goalkeeping coach. Oh no, I couldn't. In goalkeeping coach, there's two things I can't do. No. Anyway. Another great long throw, flicked on by Van der Sar, and easy for Laluz. Now, I think he wants to get on with it quickly, and it's a flat ball off the boot, which goes back to Rockdale. Elliott disguised the pass. Now De Souza, those are his first touches, and he advances the ball, option out wide. Elliott trying to continue to attack. The pass was a bit under hit. Now Elliott's got to track back, but De Souza helping him out, preventing the quick ball out, and then that goes straight to Skatadis. Skatadis again. Now, Wright slips, but gets up quickly. St. George will go on. Skatharich eased away from it by Skatadis. Now, Cito facing backwards. All he could do was find the goalkeeper, and that's going to end up in the stand, I think. And, caught on the bounce by that spectator. Safe hands, and then he underthrew it. And trying to find the ball boy. But yes, good work from the ball boy, and good to see club juniors, or at least a couple of them, for St. George FC, hanging around to help kind of keep the pace of the game high. As Elliott, now that's to Smith, first time ball. Now Keys, that flicks off Simonoski, and now Casella will chase after it. Casella, he's 1-on-1, wants it on the left boot. Finds Haddad. And now at the edge of the box, does it break for Cunningham? No, it doesn't. It somehow rolled away, and actually, it's going to go back for a foul on Haddad, I think. There we go, so just looking the stream full time. So SD Raiders down 10 players for a long part of that game at Macedonia Park. They have defeated Wollongong Wolves by 3 goals to 2. So a happy trip back home for the boys from Ernie Smith. Now, this goes direct, and it's off the underside of the bar. And then it just holds up. And Levi Kay, I think for a brief moment, he couldn't quite locate the ball. And he was able to fall on it. And St. George FC inches away from pulling a goal back. Well, not inches, millimeters away from pulling a goal back. And it was Casella with a thunderous strike. And it crushed off the bar. Now that is out of reach for Cunningham. As we look ahead to upcoming fixtures for these two teams, I think I mentioned earlier, yes. Next up for Rockdale, Sunday 26th of July, they're at home to Sutherland Sharks. There's a lot on the line in that one. Both teams fighting for final spots and the Australian Championship qualifying spot as well. Hold that thought as Riborevsky, left-footed cross, and not quite clear, but it trundles its way to St. George player. Now Cunningham, great tackle from Elliott. Van der Sar. Now that settled by St. George. He is right. Now Skataric. Now Sito. Marchevsky, decent defensive header. And that, well, that's going to be left for Levi K. Yes, but next for Rockdale, yep, they got Sutherland Sharks at home in 8 days' time. After that, they'll finish the season. Then they got their August games on 2nd of August. They're at home to Manly on the 9th of August, away to St. George City on the 16th of August, at home to Wollongong. On Friday the 21st of August, Rockdale, well, technically they're the away team, but it's at their ground. Rockdale versus Sydney FC. And Rockdale, oh, hold that thought, could be a fifth. Cito was the one defender, and somehow he's blocked it and kept the ball away from two Rockdale players heading towards the back stick. It will be a Rockdale corner. And yeah, Rockdale finish the season on Sunday the 30th of August at home to UNSW. St. George leaving Haddad and Skataric up for any possible counter-attack. No, Rockdale, credit to them. 5 players up in the box for them as they seek a fifth. Ryborevsky also on the edge of the box. Decent corner and headed away. Ryborevsky, he swings the left boot and it's in, and it's going to be Marchevsky, I think, with the final touch. He stayed on side. 2 substitutes combining. Ryborevsky with the initial shot, which looked like it was going pretty close to the bottom corner. And then Michael Marchevsky, well, I think is his first goal of the league season. Yeah. Here's a look over the shoulder to see if the flag stayed down. It did, and it's a 5th goal for Rockdale Ilinden. Now, well, Skataric is down, so it's been booted out of play. I'll have a stoppage. So, anyway, more. Actually, please forgive the more company man work. League One women's action tomorrow. Well, it's actually relative to this club because it's on this ground. So the match of the round for the women's second tier tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. here at Barton Park. St. George FC hosting Marconi Stallions. As that will go over, and we'll actually skim over the big fence behind the goal. But yes, Daniel Gualterio will be standing close to where I am standing right now to call the women's game tomorrow. St. George FC versus Marconi, 4:30 p.m. on our Football New South Wales YouTube channel. Well, so I go back to the live score up. But first, Ryborevsky, flat ball. It's off O'Shea, and one person calls for handball. They were never getting that one. Cunningham's quick enough to retrieve that, but now he resumes the one-on-one battle with Elliott. There's a supporting run from Keys. What a tackle from Elliott. Clean as a whistle. I'm going to say, by the way, big result at Poppendetta Park full time. It was Rangers 3, Newcastle Jets 2. That's has a lot of consequences at the bottom of the League One men's. As Wright looks up, shoots from range, big and flying block there from Van der Sar. Another shot comes in. It's looped up from Marchevsky, and then he's fallen awkwardly, and that's could be a bit of a sore one. And Rocco Smith helps him up also well at half an hour to go in this one. Bulls 0, Bankstown City 3. So, actually, let's see if I remember to look at the 4th official when they signal for the time added on. And as another plane takes off from Kingsford Smith Airport, maybe the last plane I'll see before full-time whistle is blown. K gets us back underway. Najar couldn't find a way through, blocked by Rodic. Laluz towards midfield, Skatadis. And then Marchevsky just preventing. Well, that's my turn into attack. And Moody Najar tends to make it 6. And that's what he has done. A clinical finish. Moody Najar stayed on side. And it's certainly unlucky for St. George FC. But that is Moody Najar's 13th goal of the league season. And the signal is only going to be a minimum of 1 minute additional time, I think I saw from the fourth official. So this one's almost up. But 6 goals for Rockdale. A very, very successful short away trip for them. That's it. 2 for Najar, as well as goals for James Temolkovsky, Ollie Wigan, Jerry Skatadis, and Michael Marchevsky. Good times for Paul D and the lads. There go, and there, in comprehensive fashion, Rockdale back to winning ways. And that is that. 3 goals in each half from Rockdale Ilinden. 3 valuable points. And a 6-1 win for them over St. George FC. So just one reminder of the NPL men's games you can watch tomorrow on our Football New South Wales YouTube channel. They're both at 3 p.m. Tomorrow, Blacktown City versus St. George City, called by Pete Pryor, and Marconi versus Sydney United 58, called by Nicola Poster. And for what it's worth, I'll be have women's commentary at 5:40 p.m. I'll be freezing my extremities off at the crest, calling Sydney Olympic versus Apia Leichhardt. But it's time for us to get out of here. So on behalf of Football New South Wales, our broadcast partner Sportscast, and today's camera operator Mile, it's Eric Subihano signing off from the Frank Arrock stands. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of NPL men's. We hope to have your company soon on our YouTube channel. The final score here, St. George FC 1, Rockdale Ilinden 6. Good night.